Hey, welcome back to Bit by Bit here for another coffee break. And today we're going to be talking about video games and time. What we mean by that is in terms of like our own personal, gaming schedules or gaming tendencies. Is there a certain amount of time we feel we need to like put into a game in one sitting to make it feel like it's worth it? Is there a max amount of time we let ourselves play a game? Like, do we cut ourselves off after a certain point? Frequency in playing, do you just randomly pick up a game, or is it kind of something you plan out before? So we're going to be talking about that today. So I guess I'll start off as far as the first point, which is how long do you feel like you need to play a game to have that playthrough be worth it, and then also do you have limits? So for me, this is actually a big problem for me because I feel like in my own head, if I'm not sitting down to play a game for like a couple hours, that it's like, well, whatever, because in my head I'm like, by the time you like load it up and then you like sit down, there's not really a lot involved, but like in my head it feels like it's a big deal. So for me, for console gaming, if I'm not going to play for like at least an hour or so, I feel like, well, what's the point of really playing it? Which is why for me I really prefer and love handhelds a lot more, because it feels just a lot more immediate. Like, you just open it up or take it out if you're not using a DS. Mm-hmm. And then it's like, okay, we're in the game, and then we can play for however long. So for that, I don't mind if it's only like half an hour or something. The weird thing about that, though, is I play like so many, like for other genres, like sports sims or fighting games or racing games. For that, I don't mind playing like the half hour, and then but normally it's not even half hour. It usually turns into like an hour or several hours, and then I feel guilty because I'm like, well, like with the 3 hours I put into FIFA, I could have put that into a game that has a campaign and actually made progress in something, instead of just like forever playing multiplayers and like sports sims and stuff. And then I look at my week and I'm like, oh, I haven't played any games. I have nothing to write about for the video game journalism part of my life, because I haven't done anything, because I've just been like chilling and playing FIFA. So that's me on the low end of time. On the high end, for like limits, I don't think I really put limits on myself, because I've never been a binge gamer. Like, I've never like
ever.
No, I've never like just like sat down and played for multiplayers. I have like I played Dragon Ball Z Budokai, and so like my wrists had like pain in them. Good. It was so good. I rented it from Blockbuster as a kid, so that was really fun. But as far as other than those specific contexts of like playing with someone else, the longest I've ever played a game for is actually probably like 4 or 5 hours straight, because I had to review Recore and I needed to finish it.
That's still pretty long.
So that was like my first and only binge, and it was really a really interesting experience. But for that reason, I don't put caps, because usually I stop after a few hours anyway. I think though, I'm trying to think if I put any type of. The only restriction I kind of put on myself is if I know I'm getting tired, I just decide to stop. Mm-hmm. Like, I wanted to beat Inside in one go, because it's not that long of a game. But I started kind of more in the evening time, and it was like 12 or 1 in the morning. And I could tell like I was only had like a third of the game left, but I'm like, I think I'll rather just wake up tomorrow and finish it and not be exhausted, rather than like force myself to like finish this game and be kind of miserable by the time I get to the end of it. So that's probably the only restriction part I put on my gaming. Okay, so what about you? What are your habits in terms of that?
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't realize until we started talking about this how much there is for me concerning this topic, and like going through my head of all like the weirdness in my life involved with this. Because I think I'm pretty strange about it. I think it frustrates my roommate Catherine, because she really likes the game too, and she likes it when I game because she likes to watch me. And so sometimes I'm really finicky about like when I will and won't play a video game. Part of it is because of how long I want to be able to play for. Like, if I know I can only play for like half an hour, I usually will not pick up an RPG or something like that. So I'm with you on that boat. But I mean, for me, it's not so much separated by console games. Even a handheld game, I usually won't pick up unless I have a decent amount of time. Unless it's a level-based game like maybe Mario or something, I'm like, oh, okay, I'll try this for a little while. That I might do. But even for like Pokemon, I kind of want a little while to play it. So like when I have a really long train ride, like maybe like 40 plus minutes, I'll pull out Pokemon and play that. But otherwise, probably not. But I have a hard time playing games when I'm stressed out, and I think it's time related, because I like have it in my head that like, okay, well, if I get on this video game, I know I'm going to be on for at least this amount of time, and then I haven't done this, it's going to be this time at night, and then I'm going to have to like reroute and do this, and so like unless I have my plan pretty clear, I cannot binge play. So my day has to look a very particular sort of way in order for me to binge play a game. That being said, I love binge playing games. I wish I had more time to do that. I wish I was a kid again, basically, because like kids have no responsibilities and it's awesome. And I used to go to like Hollywood Video Store when I was younger, and I would just rent a game. Like I remember once I got Knights of the Old Republic 2 at Hollywood Video, and you only get to rent it for like 2 days or something like that. I don't remember. It was like $6, and to me that was like a huge amount of money when I was a kid because we got like $1 a week. So it was a huge investment, and there was no way in hell I was going to leave my room for those 2 days. And usually I'd try to beat a game twice, if I had it for that long. So I just would, like, I'd wake up early in the morning, like 5 or 6 in the morning. I would play all day long, and then I'd go to bed around like maybe like 2 or 3, and I'd wake up again at 6 in the morning and play all day again. And I'd have my little sisters fetch me food and water and stuff. So that was good. Yeah, so it was a good setup, and I want to recreate that experience. I want to recreate it, and I want to blog about it. That's what I want to do. So that's my goal. Now that we've been talking about this, I'm like, that was great. Why am I not that person anymore? Yeah, and I guess as far as limits go, obviously I'm an insane, obsessive person because I did that, but that's not my life anymore. So usually I try to limit myself to probably less than 4 hours a day, even if it's a pretty slow day for me, because like even if I don't have a lot of other stuff to do, if I game too long, I tend to like get reckless with my gaming, I guess. So like if I'm playing an RPG and I have like a distinct idea of who my character is, you know, like right now I'm playing Dragon Age 2, and you start to have like a sense for who Hawk is, what their decisions mean, and you're building these relationships and making decisions and stuff. As soon as they start to lose meaning to me, and I'm starting to get like bored and tired, and I just want to get through a quest instead of enjoying it, then I'm like, I need to get off, because otherwise I'll ruin the game for myself. I'll totally ruin it for myself, and I won't want to play it anymore, which is something I learned the hard way over many years. Yeah, so that's pretty much how my habits work. I'm still surprised you've never binge played a game. I think I want you to binge play a game all day. I think we need to like hole up one day when we don't have anything to do and literally just play video games all day.
Well, that was my idea, where I could bring my TV over and then just set up like a really bro, like,
I mean,
hangout,
24-hour
marathon.
Yeah, no, seriously.
I'm not going to do 24 hours. I don't do 24 hours of anything, no.
That's sad. You can even switch games. It's no big.
I feel like it's just too much like being in front of the screen for too long, kind
That's
of,
true.
a little bit. Yeah, but yeah, I've never really binged. I just didn't grow up like that. I just didn't binge play anything. I don't really know why. I feel like it's pretty weird because, especially being someone as into video games as I am, you would think that I've done that like a lot before, but I've just never have done it. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it came from the fact that like I grew up like sharing a lot of things, or like I don't know. We like decided to do other things. I don't really know why. Like it just never happened. But yeah, I would only do probably a couple hours at a time. Definitely not more than like 4 or 5 ever. I think we would just like decide that we're just going to do something else. Or I think a lot of times when I play, it's like I play to a certain point. Well, like I grew up playing to a certain point. So it'd be like if me and my brother were both playing, and we would play the same game at the same time and rotate out. So like I'll take Ratchet and Clank first, and then I'll like beat this one boss or something, and then I'm like, okay, now I'm gonna stop. Then my brother does it, and he does the same thing, and usually he does it faster because then, well, if you saw the person that now you know how to solve this stuff, which is kind of a con too. But then the next time he'd play first, so then like I'd have the advantage and things. So yeah, or like he'd get to the final boss and then beat the game, and I'm like, okay, now I'm gonna beat the game. We would just switch off like that. So I think it's another reason we didn't just full on binge it. Because we'd rotate out.
We'd have a system like that, yeah, because I'm one of 6 kids, so, it gets to a point where it's like, we have one Xbox, and so there's one Xbox, everyone wants to play the same game. Like if Skyrim, well, more like when Oblivion came out, because that's when most of us were still living at home. When Oblivion came out, good lord, like all 6 of us wanted to play it all day, and you couldn't, because one Xbox, one Oblivion. So we had a system in place, designed by my mother, to keep us in check. And we took half-an-hour turns, and those were really short. And that's maybe one of the reasons why I don't like playing like that so much anymore. Now, like even when I switch off with my roommate, because we still only have one Xbox, we both like to play a lot. We usually go about an hour at a time, or just however long someone wants to play, and then we play however long we want to play. But when I was a kid, it was half an hour at a time, and it was a very distinctive system and we would have timers set up like on the kitchen like stove. And it, if it would ring and we come back and it's my turn, and people to this day, I still go home and my sisters are still getting in fights about whose turn it is, and that was my childhood. And so sometimes though, what you could do is maybe someone's in the middle of something and they don't want to get off. They're like in the middle of a moment or a quest or something like that, and it's past their turn. And if your turn's next, you could grant them extra time with interest. So how it would work is if it was my turn next, and my brother wanted to keep playing something, if he went over 5 minutes, I got an extra 10 minutes on my turn. That's how it would work. And you'd have to agree to it. It was like a trade agreement. But it would get complicated if there was a line behind me, like if it was my brother playing, but then there was supposed to be me and then my sister Sam and then my sister Kat, then like we'd have to try to figure out, it's like, well, like, am I the only one who gets 40 minutes because I'm next, or do we all get 40 minutes on our turn? And then it starts to really add up. It's like, is that 5 minutes worth it? Probably not, So the time politics in my household were really interesting. And maybe that's why I really relished my binge days, is that if I found a game, like, okay, so we had a lot of consoles, different consoles, we'd build them up for the years. Someone would get it for Christmas, whatever. We had a GameCube, we had an Xbox 360, we had a PlayStation 2. If everyone wanted to play the same game, that's when we have to have the turn system in place. But if no one wanted to use the Xbox 360, I'd go rent the Xbox 360 game and hold it in the room for 2 days because no one else was using it. Everyone else was, playing Roller Coaster Tycoon on PS2 or something, So that's how it would usually work for me. How do you go about scheduling time for yourself to play video games?
Right. That's a good question. I don't think I do that, and I think that's why I don't game a lot. I don't know. I think and that's one reason I like writing for video games, because then like I can push myself more. So like, I'll get a code, or I'll decide that I'm gonna like play this one game, and I'm like, okay, this is a game I'm gonna review, and then I'll try to like just play it kind of as soon as possible. But it's pretty random. It's basically just a random mess. I think I actually have to work on maybe scheduling in it, because I like don't. I think. Well, now that I have like more time freed up, I'm like thinking in my head like, okay, today I'm gonna play this game or whatever. So yesterday I was like, okay, today, or maybe 2 days ago, all the days blend together now. I'm gonna play Pokemon Snap, and then I couldn't find the cartridge.
You still haven't
found
it?
No, I still haven't found it. I don't know where this cartridge is. If anyone on YouTube knows where the Pokemon Snap cartridge is or where it could be, let me know. I don't know where this is. I don't want to buy it again. It was kind of expensive. It was like $3, but that was kind of a lot because it's like old game.
Yeah.
So that sucked, but then I was like, okay, I'm going to play Journey, and then I played and I beat it, and I'm like, cool. I'm like, what now? And then I didn't really figure anything out. But so it's basically just random.
Okay.
I'll like decide sort of that like, okay, tomorrow I'm going to play this game, or like this weekend I'm going to make some time and play like, whatever game I'm working on. The next game I think I'm going to work on is Severed. That's how it works for individual like campaign mode stuff, but for like other games it's very scheduled. So like I play FIFA a lot. And right now I'm playing FIFA 17. And me and my brother do this thing where we create like these different tournaments, and I'll probably write an article on it. I've written so many FIFA articles already. It's the only thing I can write about because it's the only thing I do. So we have these tournaments, and they're based on like, we'll pick a theme. Sometimes the theme will be something dumb, like we had our like MLS Mess tournament where we like had a bunch of weird games, like a hacker game, who can get the most red cards, it counts towards your goals, silly stuff like that. We have other themes like. Right now our theme is J-League because it's for the first time ever in FIFA 17 they have the Japanese league in the available for soccer teams. So now we're doing a league of all Japanese teams that we play the game while listening to Japanese pop music.
That's amazing.
And yeah, we're trying to think of other ways to tie in the theme. Our last one was all German teams. We called the 99 Luft Balloons tournament, and at the end we drank German beers and filled the room with as many red balloons as we could. It's just me and my brother. It's super nerdy. It's great. So those are a little more scheduled because like someone else is involved. So it's like, hey, when are we going to play this? And I like that because it's kind of, well, one, it gives some meaning to an otherwise like could be meaningless game, because it's like, unless you're doing the campaign mode of FIFA, you're just playing. Yeah, and I used to play random games with my brother, but it would just kind of feel like a little like random and annoying, so just add structure to it. But other than that structure, I don't have any structure set in place. But that structure I think really helps me play. It makes it feel more meaningful. Like, okay, look, I'm making progress in this. We accomplished something. We have like a little board and stuff. So that's how that works out. But yeah.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I guess I do a similar thing where I sort of just play as I can and when I feel like it for most games. Definitely when I'm reviewing something, though, I tend to think, okay, I'm just going to sit down and play this out, and try to as much as possible.
Yeah.
And a lot of times I'll have like a beer with that, and make a sort of an event of it. Like this is, it's sort of work, but it's not really work, but I get beer because I'm not really at work. And so that's how I usually do it. But then also there's been times in my life where I've been a little, because, I'm fairly type A, but I've been worse off, like, in my life when I was, like, in middle school and high school. I was a little more intensive. And I used to have a system in place in the morning times where I would wake up before school.
That was really scary.
I'd wake up before school and I'd schedule my time to wake up early enough to play an hour before school every day because it was important to me. I needed to beat Final Fantasy 12. I needed to. I still never have.
Really?
No.
Why not? Is it that long?
Oh, it's pretty long, and it's like, I don't know. I just, I did this for a couple weeks, and then of course, this is.
You have to beat Final Fantasy 12.
I do. I know.
And then you can write about it. Have you avenged your past self?
Yeah, but I've never beat any games. Like I do now, but like there's so many games I never beat. So that's my life. I never even hardly finished my whole cup of coffee. I mean, that's just who I am. I'm trying to work on it. But
you can always reheat the coffee. I mean, you can't see
I
the microwave right now, but like one could. Someone could.
I just usually
we have the technology.
Yeah, but that's how I usually do things. Is I get really intense. I schedule something up. I plan it all out. I spend days planning things, and then after a couple days, I'm like, nah. And that's my life, and it's horrible. So I'm trying to work on that. But that's how my scheduling usually goes. So I try to do things a little more short term now, because when I get too like in the future of how my whole gaming life's gonna look, it just all falls apart, and then I feel like a failure. So I try not to do that anymore. Yeah, we're getting too real here. I'm
sorry, it was just really funny to me. Just because, like, I think that's most of both of our lives.
Yeah.
It's like then you have all these goals, and then it's like I did nothing. I am nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
None of this means anything.
Yeah, and then what do? I start over and keep planning.
Yeah,
my whole life's planning. So
yeah, that's the best part.
That's
the best part, like planning it all out and then just not doing anything.
Yeah, the planning's the best part.
Because you have it all written out. You're like, it's gonna on Monday, on Tuesday. Like I had a workout schedule planned out this week, and like
me too.
I just started it today. I went to the gym, but I was like on Monday, and I'm like, Monday is hard. I'm not gonna do Monday anymore. And then like this morning, I was like, I kind of have to shoot this. Like, is it worth it?
Once you hit the hump, though, it's week, it's like screw it.
And that's what was what we need. What we really need. Well, we don't have the money for this. I guess this is my last comment that we can close out. Because the beauty of a gym, the reason people sign up for a gym is not because like you can't do that stuff at home. You can be fit at home. Mm-hmm. You can even buy the equipment and then be done. Like $300 or whatever, get almost everything you need. But the reason you sign up for the gym is because then you have, at least then it's a push to go. Like if I'm at the gym, I've never gone to the gym and not worked out. Dude, it's like not something you do.
Ted Mosby?
Exactly, right?
Yeah.
Unless you're Ted Mosby, that's not something that happens. We need a gym, but for video games.
Oh,
which is basically an arcade. It's not an arcade though.
But with a subscription. An arcade with a subscription.
Yeah. You would just drive over there and then just sit and then
I'm here now. I guess I have to game. Yeah, that's good. That's a good idea.
It's actually a terrible idea. It's a terrible business idea. It's like it would fail miserably.
Janet,
if you put it up north, maybe it has a chance.
We should buy an arcade,
right?
And call it Puzzles.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we're done.
Yeah, I think that's basically it. But yeah, definitely interesting things to think about moving forward, in our own gaming lives. But so yeah, definitely subscribe to us, give this video a like. In the comments, let us know what you guys do for video games, how you schedule that out, how you fit that into your life, because it can definitely be difficult to manage.
We obviously need some help.
Yeah, so if you have any advice for that, hit us up on that. You can also follow us on Twitter, or add us on Twitter at Bit by Bit Gaming, right? Bit by Bit Gaming. So yeah, stay tuned. We'll see you next week.
Thanks for watching.